So there we go. So what we're going to do, I'm going to admit a bunch of people. There. Okay. So my name is Margaret Patterson, and call me Margaret. You can call me Mrs. Patterson. You can call me Dr. Patterson. You can call me, well, it's interesting. I went to school in Massachusetts and they always said professor. It was kind of cute. And so people would answer to that, and then you don't even remember their name. You see how clever that is? So any of those things I'll answer to. Is that okay? So whatever, whatever you're comfortable with, it doesn't matter. So a lot of times people tell me their stories, and I'm going to tell you what happened. I've taught math most of my life. And so we lived in Maine, the state of Maine, which is on the opposite side of the country. And of course, it's really cold there. It's got a lot of snow and stuff. But I taught for the University of Maine for a number of years, and then retired, and then moved to Seattle because my son was in Seattle. And then I said, oh, gee, I wonder if I wanted to just teach a little bit. And so that's exactly what I did. And so I've been teaching for Seattle College for about 5 years. So it's just part-time. But typically I teach this course or statistics. Those are the two courses I seem to do. With the pandemic, the work in Maine was mostly distance learning. And so because Maine is a big state.
If you're doing okay.
Oh yeah, somebody's talking. And have to get rid of our
space as much as I respect our connections. So yeah, just to check in, see how you're doing, how you're feeling today.
Let's see, somebody's talking and I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, I hear that too.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, because then it's being broadcast. So anyway, literally, we would have meetings, sometimes from one university to the other, and the state was big enough that people would have to fly in, if you can imagine that. So that's a pretty big state. But anyway, so we moved out of Seattle a year and a half ago, and so I'm now in Sequim. But anyway, that's kind of my story. So I'm working on my new house, trying to figure out what to do with it. It needs help. So anyway, let's talk about Math 80. So most of you realize that I assign you to one of 4 courses. And so it really depends on what courses you've already taken or your placement test. And so I've actually assigned a fair number of you already, which is good. And so I want to get the rest of you assigned as soon as possible so we don't lose this week. We will meet on Saturday from 9 to 11 on Zoom. So you'll come in the exact same way with the same code and everything. And you'll just continue to work in Alex. So I want you all assigned by then so that you're ready to keep moving. And then typically what I do is I talk to people individually. So in Zoom, I can actually pull people out of the main room and talk to them privately and find out what they need. And so sometimes they won't tell me when they're in the main group, but as soon as I get them on their own, they'll tell me. And so we can go over whatever it takes to get you going again. The biggest fault is taking a vacation from this course. And so that's why we meet every week. And on Wednesday, I'm asking you to send me a little message just saying what you're up to, how many topics you've completed, so that you don't lose your forward motion of getting this done. What you need to know is that there's no tests until the final. So you work in Alex and they keep reviewing and such. And the initial knowledge check, basically, that means you don't have to be working on those topics so much at all. And so they just work on the topics you don't know. But when you get to the end and all the topics are completed and you know it, then you do a mixed review. And the mixed review is about 50 questions. And you can take it 4 or 5 to as many times as you want until you get a score of at least 80%. Now, the reason that's so important is because when I look at the final, which is only 25 questions, it seems to me they pulled out 25 of the 50 questions. So if you do a good job on mixed review, you can do the final. You see what I'm saying? You can have a small page of notes, maybe a half a page, one like 8.5 by 11, but you know what's going to be on the test. And so it's just a matter of working through the questions you don't have. Now, what people need to realize is they say, oh, I haven't completed all the topics, but I want to take the final. You can't do it. To take the final, you have to have all the topics completely done. Then you have to take the mixed review and get 80%, and then you can take the final. So the way we do the final is we meet on Zoom, and you're on Zoom with your video on, and you just go over to Alex and do your final. And as soon as you finish, we will see if there's any partial credit, because sometimes the score looks like you didn't pass, but then when we look for the questions, there's partial credit and you did pass, and you need 75% to pass. But here's the thing that people think they put off and they put off, you know, getting things done. If you don't take the final and don't finish your topics, the grade is 0. And that's terrible for a grade point average. It doesn't really matter if you're new or you've been in college for a while, 0 kills. And so you want to avoid that no matter what. And so trying to think, well, I'll just take the final and do good enough. I can't let you. That's not part of the procedure for the course. So you've got to complete all the topics first. And so that's your first goal. The other thing is there's bonus points that you probably read it in the syllabus. So if you finish, I think March 1st is the date I picked. When you finish and have the final done by then, if you had a grade point of 2.7, it becomes 3.0. So it goes up 0.3 points. And so that's a good deal. And so that's a good reason to move ahead and finish early. The other thing is that last quarter, somebody did 3 courses. Now it's very, very unusual, but many times people can do 2 courses if they have the time and the, energy. And so what happens when you take that final for the course we've selected you for, and I see that you've passed, at that very moment, I can move you to the next course. And if you don't finish the second course, there's no harm done. I'll just give you a grade for the first course. So, and then you're just further along for next quarter when you still need to take more courses. Does that make sense? So the goal is to finish 1 course, no matter what. And so the sooner, the better. And the other thing is I'm available for tutoring most days of the week. I've found 6 o'clock, I'm too tired. And so I don't really want to tutor at 6 o'clock at night. But if it's sooner, I could be very happy to help you any day, even the weekend. And so what I would recommend you doing is by a certain, like tonight, if you wanted tutoring tomorrow, send me a little message in WhatsApp. Say, I'd like tutoring at 10 o'clock. Is that possible? And then the first thing in the morning, I get up early, I would see it and send you a quick message to say yes or no, I can do that or whatever. Is that okay? So that would give me enough warning to know. And occasionally I'm not available, but most of the time I am. So what do you think?
Yeah, this sounds cool. I gotta,
Go ahead,
are we,
Jose,
are we okay to ask questions?
go for it.
Okay, so one of the questions I had is, so during our Saturday Zoom, classes, what are we all going over different stuff, or are we going over general things, or like, you know what
Well,
I mean?
I think everybody would be working, they would be in the Zoom meeting, they would be working in Alex, and then I'd be working with people individually. So
Oh, okay.
what I've been doing is there's a breakout room and I just send a little message and you go off, we both go off to the breakout room and then we can talk and not bother anybody
Oh, okay.
and talk privately about what you really, really need.
So we go through our app, we on Saturdays when we meet, we're all gonna be doing our individual Alex programs.
That's right.
And you'll go check on us to see what we need help with, or what, or if we need help from you, we can go to you like that.
That's right. And that's what we did when we were meeting at the college, in person. We
Okay,
would literally do it that way. So everybody would show up and then they'd ask me questions when they ran into trouble.
that
And
makes sense.
one time where you can get help. And if you had to skip over topics, keep track of them. And all you need to do is tell me the problem. And I have a camera, so I can use paper to write things out for you so you can see it. And then
Okay.
we can go over to Alex if need be, and so on. So I've got the technology to show you what you need to know.
Cool.
What do you think?
That sounds great. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Also a little bit different, not too much. In regards to the Alex programs, like, so when I was on there, I did the initial, what was it, the initial knowledge thing.
Yes.
So after that, it pops up other stuff. Do I just keep going through all the stuff that pops up, and then that's what we do?
So that was what Dorcas we were talking about. So he did the initial knowledge check. And then the program can see what you know and what you don't know.
Yeah.
It'll tell you too. It'll tell you, no, now you've covered 50 topics already. You're good on those. Now you have so many more left.
Okay.
And so it really, when you log in, it's telling you what to do next.
So it's pretty hard not to not know what to do then.
That's right.
Okay, well, that's cool. I like that.
And and if you want to be creative, they may say, no, do what I say. You know what I mean? I mean, they want you to do it in the right order. And at the very least, you have to click assignments
Yeah.
on the left. And so on the screen, on the left, there's different choices. But usually you don't even have to do that, I don't think.
Usually, yeah. So it's just on that, whatever icon shows up on the left after you did a project, and whatever the new one is, that's pretty much what you just keep going through all of it.
And,
Okay, that's straightforward.
and then you can actually go in and see where you are. Because on Wednesday, what I want you to do is look to see how many topics have completed so you can see your progress. So one week you might say, I've done 50 topics completed. And then the next week you'd say, well, I've done 61 topics. And so you can see. And so I want you to look for that. And so I can see it as well, but I want you to see it. It's actually more important that you see it than I see it, so that you can see where you stand. And they actually are telling you, well, at this point in time, this is partway through the course, you need to have 50% of your topics done. And then what they're trying to do is make sure you finish on time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's another marker where it's 75% of the topics need to be completed by the particular date. And so they're
And it tells us that.
to you. They want you to know. And so if you're behind, you need to hustle a little bit and get,
Okay. Okay. And as far as the extra credit stuff goes, that's going to be not on Alex. That's going to be on the WAMAP.
What was it, extra credit about?
I thought you said something about we were able to. Maybe I could have misheard.
This is about a grade bonus. So
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, probably.
early. And so it's literally, you know, if you get your act together and take that final
Oh, okay, I get it. All right.
first, then we're in good shape.
So we'll get extra credit if we get done early. That's what that
That's
means.
exactly to your grade point, which
Okay,
is really a good thing.
awesome.
Everything helps, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, I'm going over here. See it? Yeah. All right. So I put this little sign up today. A few people had trouble finding their placement exam scores. There was a link further down, but I put it here. And so this link right here, if you can see my marker, that should take you. Now, I don't know if people have had trouble getting their scores. A few people, one person had to like email and ask for it. Let me see if it works. But others were able to provide it. And so it took you to this. And so it, you know, it tells you what they want from you. And anyway, they give you instructions. Your compass score, which I think is Alex score, or your transcript. And so that's what we're looking for, so that I can figure out the very best place for you to begin. Typically, I'm going to put announcements right here at the very top. And so I think if you come here first and look to see if there's anything specific that you need, then you can click this, and this link will take you over to Alex when you're all set. And so then you can go ahead and log in. Okay. And I literally have everything automatic, so I don't have to remember passwords. And so I can see, look at this, 5 people are in this course, and so on and so on. And so I can follow your progress, but I want you to see some of it. And let's see. Well, I'm not going to go into anybody's individual thing, but there is a place here for reports when you're in your own website, and it literally will show a circular graph that'll show you, you know, what percentage of each little topic or each little section is done. And so that's where that is. Okay.
So are we able to because I noticed when I did that initial knowledge thing yesterday, I didn't, are we ever able to see how we did on that stuff? Like, are you talking about that a little bit too, or?
Well, do you want
Like,
me, do you want to go into yours?
I don't, you can if you want. I don't have nothing to hide.
It would help, but it's up to you. I mean, nobody's that far, so it's not really.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I was just wondering because I didn't see nothing that's showing like what I got wrong or right or nothing like that.
Okay,
Like,
can you tell, are you in 81 or 87?
I think 81, I think.
Think it is.
I think I'm not.
It'll come up or it won't.
Does it say my name on there anywhere? Or?
Let's try 87. I thought it was 87. There, right?
It's Charles Sidler.
Civil.
Am I in 87 then?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I thought I was in. Okay, awesome. All right, I didn't know for sure, to be honest.
This shows me, this is a picture. So this is what I look at when I looked at your progress. It shows me some of these topics were nearly done. Okay, and other topics you've just kind of begun. So this is also telling me that 92 topics have been completed.
Okay.
Good. And so this is, let me show you what I typically like to look at, the pie. This is this is the numerical version of this. So 92 are mastered. This is telling me that you have 87 to go.
Okay.
So this is more than halfway done based on that first test.
Okay.
This is good. So then, but the rest of this, what I really wanted to show everybody was whole numbers. You have like a few more little topics.
Okay.
Fractions, it looks like one topic left, 21 out of 22. And then there's more topics as we go down the road, you know.
So is this stuff having to do with like, so after I did the initial knowledge thing, this is stuff that's going to be completed once I do the next step, the next thing that's going to go into this?
And so each thing will fill in as you complete things. But this is telling me on this particular topic, you know, see, there's more left.
Okay.
This one, linear equations, there's still 14 to go. And this one probably is toward the end. There's most of the topics remaining, and so on. And
Okay.
so literally you're going to go in, and I suspect they're gonna have you start working from here.
Okay, so everything I do continuing on to the next step is gonna fill up all these boxes.
We're gonna fill it right up, and it's
Okay.
literally, see how it's color coded? Here's yellow, and here's the yellow one.
Yeah, okay,
The little sliver left, that's 3 topics.
okay. And so and these are just things that popped up. Like I didn't choose like what to do or not. It's just
No,
that's just showing what's popped up and I did already.
no, it came out of that initial knowledge.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and if occasionally they'll do a little review, and if you're a little iffy on some of the questions, they'll do some more review on that, because they want you to retain it to the end.
Yeah, totally.
So things could actually go down if you know, if that's the thing about trying to work constantly through the course so that you don't lose ground. But in general, that, you know, this is good. This is off to a good start. And you literally can track how much time you've spent and so on. There's other reports. And this was the one that really mattered at this point in time. The initial knowledge check, this is what we saw.
Okay.
Okay, does that help everybody?
I think
What
so.
I like to do is point out when you're doing a particular, you see this thing called class tools right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hit class tools, this is the one, resources, which is here, should literally link you to all kinds of YouTube videos. So if you wanted something explained, I have no idea, square roots, you know, whatever. There's quite a few. And if somehow this is not working, let me know and I'll make sure we get it.
I didn't see this option on Alex when I was on there.
Try looking, it's something you can easily overlook. But it may not be in every single problem, but kind of look for this. I want everybody to look for this. And if this is not coming up, see, mine comes up because I'm, you know, I'm teaching it. But if you're not seeing the class tools when you do a particular problem.
So there's not like
I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm still confused because he's on that WA1 map. He asked us to go to the what you just talked about. And he said answer 7 questions, and then I'm confused. I really am.
Let me go back to WAMAP.
Yeah, where you asked us to go in and
So WAMAP is just used for messages, and so to make announcements.
correct. But you had asked us to do something and answer 7 questions, right? Or am I?
Basically, what that did is it helped me determine which of these 4 courses you belong in.
Oh, so I'm past, I'm past that.
You're past,
I'm not sure what I am.
you're past it. And so the
Okay,
7
so,
questions just helped me to determine which of these courses you start with, because you don't
oh,
want to be in the wrong course.
yes, ma'am. So then when I completed the reassessment thing again today, earlier, so when I didn't see all that other stuff that, because like I said, I'm new to online stuff and computer.
Yeah,
And so this is, I can go get tutoring help tomorrow, but I didn't see all that you said, so I guess I'll have to go get help tomorrow.
okay. Okay, yeah, well, all right, let me see. So let me get out of this. Okay, we're back. Okay, I can, it's so funny, I hear little bells when people leave. So does this kind of help? So Annabelle talk, oh, somebody, there's a little gimmick for raising your hand, and so I see a little icon. So,
Yes, I didn't want to be rude.
no, that's
But I have a question. So it's kind of off topic. Sorry. Do you teach during the summer?
I don't teach in the summer, but I do teach in the spring. And like
Okay,
I've retired once,
because
I should do it again, but I think as long as we're still dealing with COVID, I don't know, it seems like something to do. And I think
okay,
the rest of you can just make progress getting your coursework done, because you shouldn't be out gallivanting too much. I don't know if you're out gallivanting. I have no idea. But it'd be
I
better
just got off a plane.
to stay well. Oh, okay. Anything else?
Hi. I'm a little bit more behind, so I haven't gotten into Alex yet.
Okay.
I'm been trying to get my transcript because I did math, I think 96 last quarter.
Okay.
But I'm having trouble getting that transcript right now.
We can talk once we stop for this evening. We won't keep going and going, but once we stop, I'll talk with individuals who need to talk to me one-on-one.
Okay, cool.
And so I'll talk to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And if there's anybody that hasn't been assigned and put into an Alex course, these are the ones I want to get straightened out. Right? If you're already assigned, I'm happy. And that means you can keep going and going, and I'll see you on Saturday. Is there any other question that I haven't really answered? Yeah, Angelique?
Hi. So, Dr. Patterson, I actually, I did start the Alex course over the summer quarter and unfortunately had to drop it. So do I have to retake the assessment, or if I know my placement, which is at the bottom of the barrel because I haven't taken a math class in over 20 years.
Oh,
And I'm terrified of math. I'm one of those students. So can I send you a message and then, or can we work out my placement between the two of us, or will I have to go through and do the placement again since it was so recent?
it would be, the plan would be to redo the initial knowledge check.
Okay.
Chances are you'll end up in the same place anyway.
Okay.
And then we'll know for sure what you remember and what you don't. And then you can move on. And
Okay.
so that's the way we typically do it.
Okay.
And sometimes it works out as well or better doing it that way.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think that would be the best. And then just like the one that the student we looked at, when we looked at their Alex they made a nice leap into that course.
Mm,
And so if you've done it before recently, whether you finished or not, your knowledge should get you a nice leap into that course. And that means
yeah.
you're better off, right?
I think my other issue is that I am having some issues with my financial aid right now.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just kind of wondering if I'll still be able to get into Alex
Yes.
with my
Okay.
past
That's a-
code.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Alex has, when I send you the codes to get into the right course, there is what they call a financial aid code, which lets you be at Alex for 2 weeks without paying. But then they want you to pay, and it's much better if you pay before your time runs out. And so, but that'll give you the time with that financial aid. I think it's around $60 to get enough time to complete this quarter.
Okay.
And so that's what it amounts to. And so that's the book.
Okay.
So, I mean, in a sense, that's your book. And so it could be worse. And
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway,
Okay.
there's that 2-week delay. And so some people will take it. And so when I send you the paperwork, I will have both codes, the course code and then the financial aid code, which basically gives you that 2-week.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Hopefully they'll have it straightened out in 2 weeks, but
I hope so too.
it's a
Anyway,
mess.
get going. That's why I
Right.
don't want you to lose any of this time. Just move along.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
think I'm going to stop recording just because I think we're getting more into nitty gritty. Let me see if I can stop.